So, I've already made 2 Walking Dead videos within 2 weeks of each other. I guess it's only right to make one more. It doesn't mean this is my last one. Hell, y'all seem to enjoy it. So, without further ado, let's talk zombies. In the videos before, I talked about side missions and my favorite post-apocalyptic places, so now I guess it's only right to talk about an underrated episode. I don't know if it's my favorite underrated episode, but it's definitely up there. I love the earlier seasons, and the later seasons definitely aren't my favorite, so it's only right to meet somewhere in the middle there. Luckily for me, my favorite season is right in the middle. Season 5, for me, personally, is the best season. The season starts with our group finally leaving Terminus. Like, fuck, I was waiting for this. Which the Terminus storyline isn't my favorite, but at least it's somewhat entertaining. It just has the misfortune of following the prison and the governor storyline, which is tough to top, but I feel that this season reaches those heights, at least for me. I say all this because this is the first time in a long time our group doesn't have a home, and they're moving from one place to another, which we hadn't seen for a while. That for me feels like a true post-apocalyptic experience, never staying in one place and constant danger around every turn. This season brings back Carol and introduces Father Gabriel and his story at his church, which personally is super compelling. And then we finally see the group kill the rest of the termites in a shockingly brutal scene. Of course, I'm not saying they don't deserve it. I mean, after that shocking scene with Bob, I was rooting for it, but it does mark a significant turning point in the morality of the group because no one was the same after this, especially Rick. This season also introduces the Grady Memorial storyline, which I know a lot of people didn't enjoy at the time because we were watching week to week and you finally get to watch the episode and it was just a Beth episode. But now that the show's over and everyone is gone, I've found that going back to these episodes just feels like the good old days, if that makes sense, and I appreciate these stories so much more than I did before. The Grady Memorial storyline is so much more interesting now, and the premise of this group in a hospital run by former cops is such a fun idea that I really enjoy. We also get Noah, who I really wanted to stick around for the rest of the series and become much more, but we know how that went. The best part of this season was seeing our group on the road on their inevitable journey to Alexandria. It's during this journey where we get a very underrated episode. In the season 5 episode Self-Help, we see our group split up after they get the church bus working, and Eugene, Rosita, Abraham, Glenn, and Maggie are all headed to DC. They're all talking and asking Eugene questions about how he's gonna fix the world. He expertly dodges all these answers, and any casual fan will know why. This is the episode where the hair spills the beans and gets CTE.
Damn!
But that's not why I'm talking about this episode. But it sure is a factor. Anyways though, after chatting with Eugene, the bus malfunctions out of nowhere, flipping the fucking bus after Abraham hits a car, and this alone makes the episode stand out because what the hell? A car stunt in the first 5 minutes is an insane way to start an episode. This leads to a fight scene with walkers as they swarmed a disoriented group, and Eugene steps up to save Tara. After this, we see the most underrated backstory in The Walking Dead. Abraham's story gets shown in bits and pieces throughout this episode, so I'll get to all of it later, but it is a very compelling backstory, and it makes for such an interesting watch. It's the next part that makes this episode so great. We see by nightfall the group is still out and seek shelter in an abandoned building. They arrive at what we find out is a bookstore, and just like I talked about in my last video, I love these kind of places in the apocalypse, and this one I love especially. It feels so cozy once they move everything around and get settled in. Just seeing the bookshelves alone is just super cool. We watch them move the shelves around to act as walls for safety, and we see them burning books as fuel for a fire. And that right there is an apocalypse trope that's gotta be added in at least once. We see Abraham is keeping watch while everyone gets settled in, and it's here where we get a personal scene with Glenn and Abraham. It's strange, I know they were never really close, but I enjoyed seeing them interact. I wanted them to be as close as Daryl and Rick are, but sadly that potential never got realized. Here though, and some of the earlier episodes, I feel like that brotherhood dynamic was showing, and I was on board. Abraham thanks Glenn for coming with them.
Thank you.
For what?
Showing up. You could have lit out after the crash, made a case, but you stayed.
And they chat until Abraham says something that feels so different now after finishing the series.
Down to the point where everyone alive is strong now. Have to be. You're either strong and they can help you, so you help them, or They're strong when they can kill you, so you gotta kill them.
He says he wishes he could say it's never easy to kill someone, but that's not true.
It's not the truth. It's the easiest thing in the world now.
This conversation is so important to me because I feel like it foreshadows both of their futures. When Negan has the group on their knees and is ready to kill someone, we know he chooses Abraham first. Negan kills Abraham because he perceives him as the biggest threat. Abraham showed he was strong and wasn't afraid, and that's what got him killed. Just like Abraham said to Glenn.
You're either strong and they can help you, so you help them, or they're strong and they can kill you, so you gotta kill them.
Negan was strong, and Abraham could kill him, so he had to die. I just feel like that relates perfectly to that whole situation, and the second part of the conversation to me relates to Glenn. Abraham says he wishes he could say it's never easy to kill someone.
Oh, so it's never easy. It's the easiest thing in the world now.
Now, after many rewatches, we know that Glenn, by this point, has never killed anyone. And it's not until they arrive at the Savior satellite station where he kills his first person. It's here where Abraham's words ring true. Glenn's first kill is a sleeping man. After all the dangerous fights and close calls, he's forced to kill someone that's asleep. It's not easy for Glenn to take a life, but in this case, it's truly the easiest way he could do it. It's not like he's forced to fight and kill a man to the death. He makes the decision to kill someone who can't defend himself. It might not be a direct punishment for this deed, but Glenn is later killed by someone who finds killing as an easy thing for him to do. I know I could be reading too much into this conversation, but it felt like it had importance. Dialogue like this has to be looked at multiple times. The Walking Dead has occasional moments of hidden subtext, so it's fun to revisit episodes. It's also important to say that I love the lighting here, and I love that we can see into this dark and quiet street as one lonely walker tries to get inside. After this, we get the name drop of the title of the episode as Eugene hilariously watches from the self-help section in the library as Rosita and Abraham get down in the darkness.
Over there, in the self-help section.
Self-help.
His fat head staring over the shelf is hilarious and one of the hardest laughs this show has ever given me. And after this, Eugene breaks his facade.
The bus crashed because of me. I put crushed glass in the fuel line.
What the hell? Why did you do that?
And watching this for the first time was so shocking, and the vagueness of his answer of why he did it made me instantly distrust him. After all that, there was a sweet scene with Maggie and Glenn. We love that. We love to see it. Maggie feels guilty about leaving the main group, and Glenn, being the gem of a husband that he is, assures her and puts her mind at ease.
And we get to have little vacations on bookstore floors. Don't feel guilty about that.
Truly, any scene I watch with them now is just gold. I wish they got there happily ever after, and it hurts when watching this knowing that they never will. This is why the earlier seasons are so good, because we get those kinds of moments with the best characters that we ever had. The morning comes and the group is about to head out. This is when they mention that they need water and a vehicle, and Abraham says the perfect vehicle is right across the street.
It's got 500 gallons of water on it.
And this is when we get to see the iconic Firetruck. I love the details here of debris covering the street. The sheer amount of it sells the atmosphere of how abandoned the town really is. We even see a body here and even more debris back here. It makes me want to see more of this place, and we get to see just a bit of it when all of a sudden walkers start pouring out of the firehouse, and
Zombie kill of the week goes to
Eugene as he sprays down the walkers with a hose from the Firetruck. It's pretty sick, even Abraham agrees. And in the back, we get to see more of the town, including some historical buildings just across the street and a parking garage. I just find these things so interesting to see. I've always wanted to see more abandoned towns and streets, but the show only allows you to see so much. They trick you with these shots and you don't get to see the full scope of things, you know, because they got a budget. Abraham climbs onto the roof and sees this message warning them of the walkers inside. Like I said in my houseboat video, these leftover messages are so fun to see, and they add just a little bit more world building, which I'm all for. After they get the truck on the road, it breaks down, and while being stranded, they smell something in the air.
Wind's picking up. You're about to smell it. Oh.
What is that?
Whatever's making that stench, it ain't nothing nice.
When they find the source of it, it's a massive horde. And I love this shot so much. It's one of my favorites in the whole series. I want to talk about hordes another time, and I'm not going to speak too much about it besides what I've already said. The group says that they have to turn back because it's too dangerous, and Abraham gets all pissy because he wants to continue through the horde.
We don't go back. We can't go back.
I'm not talking about going back. Just south of 2
No.
miles.
This causes the fight, which leads to one of the best scenes when Eugene reveals he can't actually stop the virus.
I'm not a scientist! I lied. I don't know how to stop it. I'm not a scientist.
This moment was jaw-dropping, but made complete sense because of his strange-ass behavior. I remember yelling at the screen for them to kick his ass, and Abraham does just that.
Now, you may want to leave me here, but
Hey! Come on! Get off of him!
This moment was intense, but super justified. They traveled from Texas to Georgia just to find out it was for nothing. Speaking of Texas, Eugene mentions they were in Houston, and we even get to see some of it through Abraham's backstory. The episode ends with the final flashback. We've seen through the course of the episode that Abraham was surviving the apocalypse with his wife and his 2 children when at some point they were attacked in a grocery store, and Abraham brutally killed these men, which scares his wife and 2 children so bad that the next morning they run away, leaving a note behind that reads, "Don't look for us." When Abraham leaves to find them, he comes across their ripped apart bodies, suggesting they were killed by walkers not too long ago. He rips off his dog tags and sticks his gun in his mouth, and right before he pulls the trigger, we hear someone pleading for help. And we see it's Eugene. After Abraham runs up and saves him, Eugene tells the lie that got them all the way from Texas to Georgia.
I have a very important mission.
It's an amazing ending to an amazing episode. This backstory is so interesting because we don't get shown anyone's backstory before they met the main group, except Abraham. It's just so cool that we get a piece of lore like this because it's never been done before or after this. Also, we get to see a little piece of Houston, which never gets shown again. Like I said, I'm a sucker for world building, and seeing this area just intrigues me. A lot of fans love the big moments in this show, but I personally love little episodes like this. Characters building close relationships and surviving day to day with each other, that's what I'm all for. The time they spend in this library is so personal, and it's a favorite storyline of mine that I just had to talk about. Glenn and Abraham are 2 of my top favorite characters, and losing them at the same time hurt so much. So every time I rewatch this show, I pay more attention to scenes that they spend together. So this scene in particular is one of my favorites. I love the Firetruck scene, I love the reveal of the truth about Eugene, and seeing a little bit of Houston makes this episode even better. This episode just gives us so much, and it's one that I don't see anyone ever talk about. So that's why I wanted to talk about it. Episodes like this feel so comforting to me. There's no enemies, but the walkers and our characters are just surviving. That's the core aspect of this show, and we see less and less of this as the show goes on. The show just keeps getting bigger and bigger and forgets to have little moments like this. It's very underrated, and I hope you enjoyed hearing me ramble on and on about it. Thanks for being here, and hopefully you'll be here for the next one. I'll see you guys later. Peace.